Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to my day 6 of 100 days bakery tips. For 100 days, we'll be uploading back to back great secrets and how you will build your bakery, how you will succeed in bakery business. And today we are going to look at dough manipulation. How do you handle your dough after mixing? This is table work. And now, on the table work, what are you going to do? How do you manage your dough? We are going to look at this board, everything on this board, step by step, so that you'll be able to produce something nice, something that you are sure it will not collapse in the oven. That is another thing. So today we are focusing on dough manipulation. Very, very important. Let's start the journey. Now, from the mixer, we have to cut and weigh. When you bring out every dough from the mixer, take it to the table, and then you start cutting according to the sizes you want, isn't it? Now, one thing I observed, I visited one bakery in Enugu, and I just stood somewhere to observe how they produce, so that I can also give my input, make my input, Then I observed that the baker will only cut one, weigh it, then remove it from the scale and weigh it in his hand. Just hold it like this, may weigh it, and then drop it. That is all. He will just start to cut and drop, cut and drop. He claimed to be an expert. Don't allow anybody do that to your dough. I tell you, they will reduce profit. Either they will cut far above the quantity or below the quantity. So instead, your baker or your staffs should learn to scale very fast, cut and drop. If you don't have the dough cutting machine, learn to cut as fast as possible. So that is on weight, very important. So you scale your dough accurately. That way also you'll be able to calculate how many will come out per bag. That way also you'll be able to predict whether you are in the bakery or not. If your own is to just ask, how many did you produce today? And if they produce this number of bags, that means this is the amount that will come in. So it's better for your staffs to learn how to scale, not to just use their hand and do guesswork. So our next one is preserve dough structure. There are those that after mixing, because they are trying to mold, you turn the dough, turn it again as if you are kneading it on the table. You will overwork the dough, and that type of dough, it will not be fair. If you are producing Nigerian bread, understand that you don't have to degas everything. In other words, you don't have to press the dough until everything air is out. No, if you do that, it will take a longer time for that dough to rise. So all you need to do is to mold it gently and make sure it's firm, so that it will develop good dough structure and give you good bread that will have good crumbs quality and structure. So you don't have to press with all your strength. So let's look at the next one, dough firmness. When you are molding your dough, like for instance, if this is the dough, you fold one, or you fold from this way, 1, 2, 3, roll. Fold 1, 2, 3, the way it's displayed on the screen. So you don't have to fold and fold. Now, one thing that should give you a confirmation that you have done it well is that your dough should be firm. After molding, it should not be weak. It should be firm, no matter how soft your dough is. After molding, there should be a little firmness. Okay, that is one of the signs that you have done the molding correctly. Now, let's look at dough greasing. This is one thing that is very important. Now, in some bakery, you have to grease the pans, and then there will be no need to grease the dough again. You just mix your butter and oil and grease the pan. There are those that mix butter and oil with some other things I don't want to mention and grease the pan. There are those that will mix the butter and oil and grease the dough. Whichever way you use, make sure that oil, this mixture, touches every part of the dough, so as to avoid or prevent stickiness on the pan. Very, very important, because if you do not grease the dough properly, or if you do not grease the pan properly, after baking, it will stick to the walls of the pan. Then while you try to depan it, it will deform. Some part will cut it off, it will tear, stickiness and all that, and your bread will not be nice. Nobody will buy an open bread, the bread that one part is cut off. Okay, so you must grease the pan very, very well. Not that you should lavish it. Excess of the oil and butter can actually fry your bread in the oven. And so you should know the normal quantity to just, all you have to do is to ensure that every part of the dough, if you're greasing dough, every part of the dough is touched by the mixture of oil and butter. Now, if you're greasing the pan, the same thing, just ensure that every part is touched. The internal part of the pan is touched by this mixture that you prepare, not to actually lavish it.